I want to start with I think it was a question we had later about the Kessel run thing. Yeah. Okay, so here's the question of the day is, what is software maintenance? We've been scheduling it, we've been planning it, we've been doing it, we've been spending money on it for years, but everyone who does it knows it's really software. You're writing software, you're coding. So that means that software development and acquisition and software sustainment are one and the same in many respects. What we found as we went through the AOC 10.2 problem, I wish I had like a kind of a block model to describe this, but what we found is this. You do some of the coding on the project and you think that code's good, but you never really field it, okay? Because it's a block that goes into a whole big project. And then we do another block, and then we just kind of set them on the shelf, if you will. Set them in the library, and we kind of start lumping them together. And yet we've never fielded any of it. But so you can think of like there's a deliverable block, and then with it there's like this little red block that goes with it. That's risk. What we were doing as we move forward is you're just deferring that risk. So you're stacking up all these little red blocks because you've never exposed this to the user. You may have done it in a lab, but they've never put it on the floor. They've never put it out into the AOC to let people use it. And what we found is that essentially these weren't actually being built exactly as we wanted. They weren't performing as well together as we wanted. And we were and all this risk was being discovered at the end. And the only way to fix it is go rework it. There's a lot of rework, and that drives cost. And because we try to do it all at once, the complexity is higher. So they canceled that program because it was like we'd been years working on it, and we weren't delivering what the user wanted. So we'll set that aside for a moment. What they said is let's do a Pathfinder and do it differently. And what we want to do is we want to break it down into very small pieces, and every time we make one of those pieces, we want to field it to the floor and start using it immediately. To do that requires some things that you've got to do differently. So the operator has to be involved saying, this is what we want the thing to do. So, and then you do that, and then the coders have to be sitting there talking about it, and then they code it. And the operator says, that looks good, and that's good. And then when you field it, you have to know that architecture so that when you field it, you can do it with an acceptable level of risk. And so within hours, they could say, okay, field it. Now we can test it. It works. We're good to go. So when you do that, now you're getting, okay, well, that piece is good. You're not stacking up the red blocks over here. What they've actually done is they've got almost all of the capabilities now in a much shorter period of time with, frankly, less money than it was going to cost for AOC 10.2 by doing this technique. So that's considered DevOps, agile DevOps. So when we do that with software, you get fantastic results, and it builds user trust. That is really hard for acquisition, because you come to me and say, I want a new airplane. I say, yeah, you'll get one, but it's going to take a little while. It takes a long time, and you have to wait years to get it. Software, if I can do it this way, you got to wait 2 weeks. You don't gold plate anything. You look at it and say, okay, that's what I need. Okay, we can defer that. Do it again. And then 2 weeks later, you get another one. And so now you've got that repeated delivery confidence. You start to have trust with it. And that's a big deal. In the software world, we're trying to do that. We're doing it this Kessel run, which is the AOC Pathfinder. And they've kind of been taking that on and are really the lead. And to kind of instill that learning that they've gained from the AOC Pathfinder everywhere else.